U.S. Federal Reserve's chair said the U.S. economy is solid. Police charged for murder offered bail 15-year-old female student charged with the possession of ganja on the police compound, while the security guard charged for multiple murders. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Federal Reserve Chair said that the U.S. economy is solid and foresee more interest rate cuts in the near future. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell signaled yesterday that more interest rate cuts are in the pipeline but suggests they would occur at a measured pace intended to support a still healthy economy. And if the economy performs as expected, that would mean two more cuts this year, both by a quarter point, Powell said. And this by far is the best the U.S. economy has been in 8 years. The beloved finger-wagging Hall of Famer center Dikembe Mutombo, one of basketball's most feared shot blocker and admired humanitarian, died after fighting brain cancer, officials said yesterday. Mutombo, the NBA's first global ambassador, died at 58 years old. He played for 18 years in the NBA, and the millions of dollars he made were sent back to the Republic of Congo to build hospital and help his African people. At 7 feet 2, he was larger than life. Meanwhile, a preliminary count of ballot boxes has shown that the Jamaica Labour Party Matthew Samuda was victorious in the North-East St. Anne by-elections yesterday. Samuda claimed 4,838 votes, beating independent candidate David Fitzanderson, who got 222 votes, and Chase Neal of the United Independence Congress, who received only 30 votes. The by-election was announced following the resignation of Marsha Smith, who endured a turbulent relationship as Member of Parliament with her supporters over the years. Opposition People's National Party did not contest that election. Meanwhile, back here in the United States, Hurricane Helene did extensive damage across the U.S., and it did mind-boggling maulings of villages and towns. It has literally wiped off certain neighborhoods off the face of the earth. At least 130 persons have been confirmed dead across Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee, and over 1,500 people are still missing. Some 2 million people are without power as 50,000 personnel try to restore electricity across the multiple states. Helene, which made landfall in Florida on Thursday, began as a Category 4 hurricane and became the most powerful on record to hit Florida's Big Bend before moving north into Georgia, the Carolinas, and the Tennessee. Communities in western North Carolina were hit especially hard by the effects of Hurricane Helene, with catastrophic flooding destroying hundreds of roads and bridges. Some houses are still covered with water, so the death toll will definitely rise. Access to several areas have been cut off, preventing crews from getting much needed supplies like food, water, and fuel to residents. And you can see that some areas where people choose to live are small islands with a bridge connected to the mainland, and some of those bridges wash away, so there is no way to reach them except by helicopter. While crews are still trying to repair those roads, helicopters have been able to start dropping supplies to those who remain isolated until routes can be reopened. Back in Jamaica, a $900,000 bail has been offered to a police officer who was charged with the shooting death of a man on Harbour Street in Falmouth, Trelawney in 2023. Constable Junior Howlett's initial court appearance in Trelawney Parish Court was granted bail, and the next court date is going to be October 16. According to reports on November 4th of 2023, there was a fight outside a nightclub between Constable Howlett and a 25-year-old Adjo Hall. The officer is accused of shooting Hall, who at the time of this occurrence had no firearm. And after an inquiry by the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, the policeman was charged with murder. A 15-year-old female student has been arrested and charged with possession of ganja after reportedly being found with the illegal drugs on the compound of the Denham Town Police Station. Reports indicate that about 9:38 p.m., the teenager was seen entering the station's compound through the back gate carrying a brown bag, which aroused the suspicion of the officers on duty. She was subsequently stopped and questioned but was unable to provide a satisfactory explanation for her presence on the compound. A search of the brown bag reportedly revealed a clear plastic bag containing 10 parcels of ganja weighing over 2 ounces, 10 parcels of tobacco, 2 packets of Rizla, and an orange lighter. The accused was charged in the presence of her mother. A Westmoreland business operator has been charged with fraudulent conversion following 2 separate incidents on Westminster Road and Cargill Avenue in Kingston 10 in December and March of 2023. And he has been identified as 47-year-old Andre Poorman of Amity District in Savlamar. Reports from the Halfway Tree Police are that last December, Poorman allegedly collected over $900,000 for a 2012 Toyota Hiace bus, which is valued at $3.5 million, from a man, and then stopped communicating with him and did not return the man's money. In the second incident, it took place between February and March of 2023, with another man allegedly paid him $1.75 million for another 2016 Toyota Hiace bus valued at $3.5 million. Shortly after receiving the money, Poorman allegedly stopped communicating with that complainant as well and failed to return his money. An investigation was launched and Poorman was later arrested and charged. Meanwhile, a security guard of Sandy Close and Manley Meadows in Kingston is now facing multiple charges following the alleged shooting death of 3 people in the parish last year, and he has been identified as 31-year-old Lamar Leachman. Leachman is charged with 3 counts of murder, wounding with intent, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and possession of a prohibited weapon. Reports are that about 9:50 on Monday, October 16 of last year, a group of men were sitting on a section of Brace Street when men armed with handguns exited a vehicle and opened gunfire at them. Several of the men were reportedly injured, and the gunmen escaped in a waiting motor car. The police were summoned, and the injured men were assisted to hospital, where 3 of them died on arrival. An investigation was then carried out, and Leachman was arrested and subsequently charged on Wednesday, September 25th, following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. A court date for Leachman is now being finalized. Meanwhile, the Independent Commission of Investigation, INDECOM, has started a probe into the police fatal shooting of a man known as Tawado. He was killed on Brighton Street in Dunkirk, Kingston, during an alleged shootout with the police around 12:30 yesterday. And information is that Tawado was recently released from prison. Residents, however, refute claims by the police that the man had a gun and had engaged the police in a shootout. On to sports, Okwesachong scored a double, including a last-minute winner, as Harborview made a winning return to their home field, beating Mullines United 2-1 in their Jamaica Premier League game played on Sunday. Meanwhile, at Wembley Centre of Excellence, 10-man Vere United scored a last-minute goal to salvage a point in a 1-1 draw against Humble Lions in a Clarendon derby. And the game was at 0-0 when Vere United Michael Forbes was sent off in the 72nd minute after picking up his second yellow card in the game. A minute later, Karim Bryan sent Humble Lions ahead. However, Kishane Gordon salvaged a point for Vere when he scored in the 90th minute. Meanwhile, reigning champion Cavalier continued their unbeaten start with a comfortable 2-0 win over 10-man Waterhouse at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. Waterhouse played for over an hour without their starting goalkeeper and captain Kimar Foster when he was shown a red card in the 32nd minute for bringing down Cavaliers forward Shaquille Stein. And in the 4th game, Arnett Gardens and Racing United played to a 1-1 draw. In last night's Monday feature, Montego Bay United edged Chapelton Maroons 1-0. Schoolboy football, we're going to start with Manning Cup. Elton beat Hydel 2-0. Wolmers were 5-1 winners over Denham Town. St. Jacob beat St. Mary's College 5-0. And Tivoli Gardens also put on a 5-0 beating to Edith Dalton. On to the Costa Cup, York Castle and Ferncourt played to a 1-1 draw. Irwin and Greenpond also played to a 1-1 draw. Green Island beat Nakalva 4-1. Rossies beat Anchovy 5-1. Little London beat Godfrey Stewart 4-1. Stets were 4-1 winners over Magatti. Monroe College Lacovia played to a 1-1 draw. BBCO beat Newell 4-0. Mount St. Joseph and the Cartridge played to a 2-2 draw. Manchester beat Mayday 3-0. Alphonsus Davis beat Troy 6-0. Christiana beat Homewood 3-1. Knox College 1-0 winner over Mile Gully. Belfield Mall Alston 9-0. Denby were 2-1 winners over Central. Garvey Maceo beat Fauga Road 4-0. Glenmore were 7-0 winners over Veertech. Old Harbour 6-0 winners over Poros. Kempshill were 5-0 winners over Winston Jones. Brownstown were 3-1 winners over Abotnot Gallimore. Paul Bogle beat Seaford 5-0. Yallas were 4-0 winners over St. Thomas Tech. And Port Antonio 1-0 winner over Titchfield. St. Mary High were 3-1 winners over Wycliffe Martin High. And that's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.